This Casio TV remote control watch is actually a historical piece in my life. This came out in 1992, and I'm a gadget guy. I always have been, so I couldn't buy it quick enough. And I was working in Hollywood division with the LAPD, and I bought this thing, which I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was super expensive then. They're very expensive now, relatively speaking, if you can even find one that works. I just put a new band on it just now because the other one was literally crumbling. It was just that old. But the stories I could tell about this particular watch that's in my hand, my God, my partner and I, we'd be going to family disputes or whatever. And the way it worked was you had to have a little cheat sheet with you. And all you needed to know was the brand of the TV. And back then, you got to remember, there were no gadgets like this. This was like a groundbreaking device. But once you knew that it was an RCA or whatever it was, a Zenith, you would switch, you click over to that particular number, and this would shoot an infrared beam out of here, and you could literally take control of the TV. And the distance this thing traveled was off the charts. We would be in the middle of just absolute horrendous family disputes where the husbands and wives were just screaming at each other. My partner would be handling it, and I'd have my arms crossed, and I'd be pressing buttons, and all of a sudden their TV would come on full blast. And everybody would look around, and of course my partner was in on it, and we'd be stone faced, could you please turn your TV off? Well, that's never happened before. We've never seen that happen. So they'd run and turn it off. They'd get back to, he said, she said, and I'd turn it on again and put it full blast and start switching channels. By the time we left there, they were convinced that there was a poltergeist in their house. They had forgot all about what they were fighting over and were trying to figure out which priest they could get to come over and bless the house. I mean, it was just, you had to be there. Another one was in Hollywood. I would park on Sunset Boulevard across the street from a 7-Eleven, and it'd be like a Friday or Saturday night crowded. And over the cash register guy, the cashier, there'd be like 2 or 3 TVs that were showing the surveillance camera footage. But I would sit there because I had gone in and I saw what kind of TV they were. And from that distance, I could switch the channels, switch this over to control whatever the TV was, the screen. I would switch it over to some other channel and crank up the volume full blast, and everybody'd look up there, and the poor guy behind the counter would freak out. Eventually he'd jump up on the counter and turn them off, and then get him back onto the right channel. And as soon as he was down taking care of business again, bam, I'd do it again. A lot of laughs. I know it's immature, but that's just the way we cops were in those days. We laughed as often as we possibly could, because if we didn't, we'd be crying all night long over the shit we had to wade through. That's just a reality. It's gallows humor. In Hollywood division, in the police station there, we had a report writing room that was all glass, and you could see through the glass the watch commander's desk, and over the watch commander's desk was a big TV that showed a constant vision, like a image of the lobby. It was a live feed of the police station lobby. And I'd do the same thing. I'd turn it on to some, MTV or whatever, and crank it up full blast. And he'd go jumping up there and turn the channel around, get it back right, sit down. I'd do it again. Well, I did that for night after night. And, eventually they had to unplug the TV. They had TV repair people from the city come out and look at it, tell them everything was okay. And they were convinced, a lot of the brass and the sergeants were convinced that Hollywood station had a poltergeist and it was haunted. And the rumors were just hilarious. So yeah, this was worth its weight in gold, man, for laughs. It brought us a lot of joy on that department. Those of us that were in on it. And I just thought I'd share it with you.